I am Tyler Fertel here, joined by New York Giants defensive back Adoree Jackson. Adoree, it's an honor to be speaking with you today, and thank you for joining me here.
No doubt, Tyler. Appreciate you for having me.
Let's get started off. So I kind of want to go from high school to the pros. I think that kind of works best with the interview. So why don't we start off with your versatility in high school? You played a variety of positions in high school, including running back, wide receiver, and defensive back. You're actually regarded as an athlete, not a specific position, as a recruit. How do you think that versatility and ability to understand different positions has helped you throughout your football career?
I think it was all a learning curve. Sports is all about learning, getting an advantage and getting the edge. I only played offense my whole career. And once I moved to California to go to high school, they told me that, they had their offense, their running backs, their quarterbacks, their receivers. And they said they needed DBs and I could have played. So as a sophomore, I'm like, be on varsity as a sophomore. I just moved to California. Like, I don't mind, just doing what I have to do. So that was my first time playing defense. And I think just being able to have all that knowledge from playing offense, know what people likes, and just playing throw up tackle in my backyard with a couple of friends where I grew up at, and just having different moves and aspects. So just trying to take the offensive side and mentality that I have and use it to defense.
Mm-hmm. And I just feel like I have to ask this real quick because you did say before you came to California to play high school, you did play all offense. So
Right.
are you happy you did make that move to defense, or do you sometimes think about what would have happened if you stayed on the offensive side of the ball?
I'm happy I made that switch, but I always, think about it. I was fortunate enough when I was in Tennessee, they let me play offense a bit. When I was at SC, I played offense all 3 years there. So I did it at the highest level. So I played it in the league, played in the college, high school, Pop Warner. So every now and then, but I'm glad I made the switch because if I get the ball in my hand, I know that I can probably make something happen out there.
Mm-hmm. And kind of moving on from kind of that high school transition to college, according to ESPN, you received 23 college offers from schools all over the country. Why did you choose USC? And if you had to make the decision again today, would you go in that same direction?
Yeah, it was a lot of factors. When I grew up loving USC, I seen Reggie Bush play for the first time, and I was like, man, I could probably do something similar to that. And being out in California was just something like I seen on TV. Being from Illinois, you just gravitate to different areas and different places. Just want to open your horizon and see different things. So that was one of the reasons why I chose it. The other one was because as soon as I moved to California, which was 3 years prior, I just didn't want to make that transition. I happened to move, meet new people, have to do everything over again. And I think it helped me get ready. So when I was in high school, I stayed with my sister. So I think it got me that transition from not being homesick as much or getting me the growth that I needed to mature, to handle business. And if I had to do it all over again, I'll choose USC. Great program, prestigious. They always look out for us. And that Trojan family that they speak of is really true. So I'm just thankful that the Lord, put it in my heart to go there, and it was able to bless me with the opportunities that I have.
Uh-huh. And talking more about kind of your career at USC, you played 3 years there before you declared for the NFL draft. And you played alongside many future NFL players at USC, including Juju Smith-Schuster, Nelson Aguilar, Uchenna Nwosu, Leonard Williams, Sam Darnold, Ronald Jones, and Michael Pittman Jr., and obviously a lot more. You guys had great groups at USC. So what were those experiences in practice like for you when you faced off against or alongside players that you would later line up against in the pros? How do you think you guys challenged each other?
I think we challenged each other a lot. The high school I went to, I had Marquise Lee, Robert Woods, George Farmer, Paul Richardson, Benet Ben Wickery. So I had a lot of older guys who's already been in the league, been in college to be able to help us transition and get ready. And I think when I got to SC, it was more of it felt like home. And to be able to go against those guys and knowing them probably from playing high school ball, being in the circuit and different things, hearing from each other's name or going to different camps or whatever it may be. I think those battles made us better, and I think it brought us together. Understanding you're gonna talk trash and you always want to win, but it brought us together. Understand that he's gonna get his best out of you, and you're gonna get your best out of me. So when you see him in the league, it's just like a lot of love because you can understand the growth and the hard work that it took to get there. No matter what's going on in their life or your life, it's a moment of peace and calm just to see a good familiar face.
Uh-huh. And so kind of talking about college a little bit more, a lot of college athletes are moving schools to their transfer portal than in the past, including USC's new quarterback, Caleb Williams. What is your opinion on the transfer portal and the impact it's having on the competitive landscape of college football?
Um, Man, honestly, I really don't know. It's different to be able to see, I don't know, man. It's crazy because everybody's just transferring and doing different things. And I understand that you got to do the best for you. So I'm not going to say I'm for it or against it.
Mhm.
But I understand, or people's circumstances that may want to get the best out of them, because I know if people who are at SC had that same opportunity who may haven't even got to play and had to wait till they graduated, and then it might have been too late. But to have the opportunity to transfer and to get that opportunity, man, I wish they would have had it. So I can see the benefits from it. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not for it or against it, but I just wish it was prior, so everybody could have had the opportunity to and had that exposure that they needed to get to the next level or whatever they wanted to do in life.
Uh-huh. And talking about moving schools a little bit more, rather than players, there was a big coach that moved schools in the college football offseason. Lincoln Riley moved from Oklahoma to another big program in USC, your alma mater. So what was kind of your initial reaction when that happened? Were you expecting it? So I just kind of want to get your thoughts on that.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know nothing about it. It was at the end of one of our games, one of our trainers was like, y'all just got Lincoln Riley. And at that time, I've been removed from college football. It's 5 years now. So I don't think I really didn't follow college football like that, just USC. So we got Lincoln Riley. Everybody else was so happy. So I was like, I don't even know who it is. So my first reaction was just like, okay, that's cool. So I Googled and looked them up, and I was like, okay, got a good track record, good back record. And everybody else was so excited. So then I was like, well, if everybody is hyped up about him, I guess I'll be hyped. So I'm excited to see what he does, the things that he's going to bring to the table, and for USC, bring it back to prominence. So I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. Are you planning to try and make it out to as many games as you can? Obviously, you're in New York right now with the Giants, but in this kind of a little bit of a new era of USC football with now Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley part of the program, are you just going to try to get out to as many games?
I'm gonna try to have them schedule a game out on the East Coast so I can maybe go see it, because that's a 6-hour flight.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna take a flight just to go catch a game and have to come back. But I always wanted to go to a USC game, as a former player. So hopefully one of these days the schedule aligns to be able to do that, or whenever I'm done playing, get to go to the homecoming games and tailgate and be with some familiar faces and fans. I think it'll be nice.
Uh-huh. Do you know if you guys play out here in LA against? I know you guys played the Chargers this past season at SoFi. Do you know if you come out here to play the Rams or?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Who do we? I don't know yet. I don't really know who we're going to play. Yeah.
And now moving on to more of kind of another transition from now college to the pros. You were the 18th overall pick by the Titans. What was that draft experience like for you? Did you have any idea where you were going before the draft actually happened? Or who was actually interested in you in the combine or anything?
The experience was a tough one. I didn't really want to go to the draft. My grandma was super sick. She ended up passing away before I got drafted. And I just wanted to stay home and be with my family so everybody can experience it, because I didn't want my grandma to have to travel and all the unnecessary stuff that she may have to go through and experience that. But being there, I try to stay as relaxed as possible, because you don't know who's going to get drafted where or what's going to happen. It was a lot of shockers that happened. So it was a blessing though. Everything I thought of, I always wanted to get drafted, be seen and do it for my family. And that's pretty much what the reason why I actually ended up going to it, because I knew it was going to be an experience for them. So I think if I could do it all over again, I would do it just like that, because my family got to experience it and got to be in that moment with me. So we got to relish that, and to be able to walk across the stage, it was just a blessing. And I really didn't know where I was going to go. I know that I was talking, it was like Dallas was trying to get me, or Miami, and then to get picked up at 18th, it was like 3-4 picks before them. So it was a cool experience to get into Tennessee and be out there for 4 years and be able to make the new friends and family, I would say, that I made out there.
And during that draft, either before the draft or during the draft, was there a team you wanted to go to? A childhood team that you rooted for? I mean, were you fine going to the Titans, or was there really another team that you kept your eye on and were like, yeah, I would like to go there?
So crazy thing is, I grew up in East St. Louis, Illinois, and the St. Louis they were the St. Louis Rams before they was the LA Rams.
Mhm,
So my whole thing was like, man, I want to go back home and play for the Rams, be like a hometown hero.
mhm.
And literally my junior year of college, the Rams moved to my sophomore year. They moved to LA.
Mhm.
So coming to my junior year, and they skipped up. They traded all their picks up and got the first overall pick and got Jared Goff.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, ooh, whatever, whatever. And then by the time it was coming up for me to get drafted, I realized they didn't have any more first round picks. So that was actually where I wanted to go.
Uh-huh.
And they did me a solid and let me come visit the facility and do everything, got the experience. And they told me, like, well, you're not going to be here for us to draft you, but we knew you liked this team and you grew up a Rams fan. So they let me, visit the facility. So I thought that was pretty cool on their end. But yeah, I always wanted to play for the Rams just because it was close to home.
Uh-huh. And obviously they won the Super Bowl this past season. Obviously you can't be happy for another team to win the Super Bowl, but if there was another team other than your team to win it, where you just like, that's the team I want to win it.
Yeah, I was excited because Robert Woods, man.
Oh yeah.
He got him a Super Bowl. Robert Woods, a guy Kareem or Dante Dion. So I know a lot of people on the Rams, that I've been close with, played with, or whatever it may be. So I was excited to see those guys shine and get the glory they deserve.
Mhm. And now that we're kind of on the topic of the Super Bowl a little bit, obviously everyone's team goal is to win the Super Bowl. But however, what are your personal goals for yourself, either related to statistics or not? Yeah.
I think my goals for myself is just to be consistent, grind every day and be consistent and be that example. Understanding that the play is going to come your way. You just got to make them. And, just be a student of the game, study and make those opportunities. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's going to play out itself. And if you showing and leading by example, everybody else will do the same thing. And it will work out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, like you said, everybody goes to win a Super Bowl. But individually, I just want to do my best part and try to be the best that I can be on the field at all times. We always talk about in our group who's going to be the best DB out there, not just on our team, but on both teams, or not even just that day, but on Sunday, whoever's playing, who's going to be the best DB this week. So that's kind of the standard we try to carry ourselves to and understand that when that happens, you try to be the best DB or you try to be the best on that field at the time, it's going to transition to team success and the success that you want, which would be a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. And relating to kind of every step that you've played at high school, college, and the pros, you've actually won a different number on every single team that you've played on. You were number 21 in high school, 2 in college, 25 on the Titans, and 22 on the Giants, which is obviously your current team. If all were available, which one would you choose to be your current number? And is there any meaning for you behind any of these numbers?
So I would choose 21. So I'm gonna go through all the numbers. So 21 is one of my close friends. We played about one like my best friend, like a brother to me. He passed away of cancer when I was 15, 16. So my sophomore year in high school, or going into my second half of sophomore year, he passed away. He wore number 21, and so I really was just rocking the number at that point for him because when I first got it, it was just 21, like, oh, it's a nice number, DB number. And then when he passed away, they asked me that I want to switch going into my junior year, and I said no, I'm gonna keep it. So that's really the reason why I wore 21. Couldn't get it at SC, because Sewell Cravens, who's a dog, one of the goats to come out of California to play football, had 21. So they gave me 2. Didn't really like single digits. I didn't really know the meaning of 2 at that time and what the significance hold. And, I remember Robert Woods wore it and they was like, well, nobody wore it after him, so you can wear it. So I was like, all right, that's pretty cool. Same high school, whatever it may be. I get to Tennessee, they didn't have 21. So I get 25. Lindell White, USC, wore that number, and he was at Tennessee. And here it was 22 because I wore 2 before. And they said twice is nice since you put it on. And I would choose 21 just because of my friend who passed away. I feel like just to honor him, remember him, have him with me always. That's pretty much just my favorite number.
Mm-hmm. And now, obviously, current team, the Giants, and your team has the number 5 and 7 picks in the upcoming draft. What do you hope your team does do with these picks, if you have any hopes for kind of what the roster looks like next year?
Man, I mean, whoever they pick, I just hope those guys are, some dogs and ready to grind. Understanding how we were last year, only won 4 games, and that's not a feeling, that we want to feel again as a collective, organization all the way down to the players. And I feel like, and anybody that works in the staff, because I mean, it's cool, whatever it may be. You know, we see you, but they want to feel like, oh, we winning too. So I want to do it just not just for the team or the people that work there on the staff, but the whole city, just to feel that sense of, you know, winning is back. Kind of like SC, like we done fell off, you know, in a sense. And I wanted to get back to those days that you hear about Giants defense and all those things. So whoever we bring in, just on guys, just, you know, ready to work, ready to grind, and let's get to it. It's gonna be it's gonna be a great one.
And talking more about your team, along with the new head coach of the Giants, Brian Dable, you guys brought in a new defensive coordinator, Don Martingale, who was the former defensive coordinator of the Ravens. What are you most excited for about the new defensive scheme and the team overall?
Uh, I'm really just most excited for the energy, you know, that he's going to bring. You know, knowing Baltimore defense and the things they've done, I kind of played in something similar with a guy named Dean Pease when he was in Tennessee. But obviously, everybody has their own wrinkle or their own thing to the defense. So I'm excited for his energy that he's about to bring and whatever scheme that he has for us. Um, yeah, we're just excited because we just ready to rock and roll, really.
Uh-huh. And now kind of moving into your recruitment to the Giants. So I heard in a different interview that some teammates and coaches from your past, like Logan Ryan, who was a teammate of yours on the Titans, helped persuade you to join the Giants. What did they say about the team in the Giants organization that attracted you to New York?
They really just talked about the organization as a whole and how good they treat the players and how good they treat the people. And just having the familiar faces from Dr. Lonnie, who works on the staff with, you know, mental health, or our psychiatrist lady. She does a great job. Knowing her from SC. Then a couple coaches that recruited me, like T-Mac, knowing him, and Coach Rome, when I first met him, was a good down-to-earth person. So I appreciate him a lot. And then the former players, either I played with him in high school, played with him in college, or played with him in the league. So it was just the same kind of situation at USC, going somewhere that I felt comfortable, where I felt at home, where I felt like, okay, we can get something going.
Mm-hmm. And what if, I don't know if you've lived in New York before you came to the Giants, but what is something you like about the Big Apple? Because obviously it's a huge city, so everyone has their favorite spots in any city they live in.
Right. I like the food because it's different variety. You get a different taste of the coast, the fashion, the clothes and stuff that they have out there. The music is pretty cool. It's different. So I always try to get in tune with different regions and what they listen to and not try to be biased to just one thing. So I think just being able to explore and live life a little bit and understand. I'm coming from Illinois. I went to California. I was in Tennessee, and now I get to be on the East Coast. So I enjoy this city a lot. And the weather, though, that's one of the things that I would say is kind of crazy. I was spoiled enough to have nice warm weather. That's probably the only thing I dislike, but it didn't do us that bad this year.
But you guys, don't you guys have, when you grew up in Illinois, you guys had a lot of snow there too, right?
Yeah, that's different though. As a kid, you like that. Like, oh, it's fun to go out there, do what I got to do. But now we practicing it. It's like, no, like in school, if it snows and it's too bad, you don't even go to school, or you stay inside. You don't go outside for recess. In the league, we don't care. We going outside, rain, sleet, snow. As long as it don't lighten, you're gonna be outside grinding.
Is there anything you have to do to kind of prepare for that cold weather? Because obviously on the West Coast, it's rarely cold. So it's basically the same thing you wear every day. Do you have to switch it up depending on the time of year to prepare?
Just really get your body ready. Just warm it up. You don't want to go out there cold. Muscles get tight and stiff. Soft tissue injuries are, kind of big in that situation. So make sure everything is warm and loose. And when you're out there and get ready to go, make sure your feet are not underneath you because the ground may freeze. Put on the right equipment, I would say, when you're getting ready to go out there and perform.
Mm-hmm. And kind of more of like a fun question here. I heard that Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is your first cousin once removed. I was wondering if this is true, and if so, what is that relationship like for you? Do you guys train with each other, give each other football advice, kind of communicate throughout the season and the off season?
Yeah, we didn't really find out about that until, we were both in college, playing and performing, doing what we had to do. So I think it was pretty cool. It's one of those things where it's like lost cousin, or you seen Family Odd Parents, the Doug Dimmadome, he finds his lost son or whatever it be. It's like, dang, that's pretty cool to see somebody, with the same last name as you or something like that, family member, to be able to do what he got to do and do it at a high level. So I think it's just a blessing, to see him do the things that he's doing and to be able to perform at a high level. And, it's pretty dope. We need more family members out there to perform and to be in the league so we can all have a reunion or something.
Yeah, you guys faced each other in the playoffs a couple years ago, Ravens versus Titans, right? I think I
Right.
Yeah, I remember that.
We won in peace. We won one, the first one when we were in Baltimore. They came and beat us when they came to Tennessee. So we tied 1-1 right now.
Yeah, that's a fun little NFL rivalry going on to kind of keep track of the games you guys play. Yeah, that's cool.
Facts.
Yeah. And kind of to close out the interview, I thought it would kind of be cool if you gave a little prediction for your personal stats next year. Do you have a little prediction for interceptions, tackles, anything there?
Man, no, my only prediction is I don't want to play every game. I was sidelined for a couple games due to like COVID or whatever it may be. So I want to go out there and play a full season. That's it. And to win more games than we did. Especially, I want to get in the double digit range, to be honest. Make it to the playoffs. That's the biggest thing with me prediction wise. Really just want to get back into the playoffs, because being at home watching the playoffs and sitting there watching somebody else play when I really want to be out there and play, it sucks. So I think my real prediction is to do whatever I can and whatever I got to do, to make sure that we get there. Win the division, you win the division, you go to the playoffs. So, that's what I want to start with, just win the division.
So, yeah, thank you very, very much for joining me here, Adoree. Once again, thank you for coming on, and also a huge thanks to Jay Levine for helping plan this. And Adoree, I really appreciate it. Good luck next season. And yeah.
Appreciate you. You're all good people. So friend of mine. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Thank you, Adoree. And yeah, have a great rest of your day.
All right, you too. Have a blessed one.
Yeah, you too.